Hey gorgeous, this is episode number 337 and we have the wonderful Amanda Kunkel back on the show today.
Hi, this is Amanda Kunkel. You are listening to HeartSells Podcast with Christine Schlonski. Enjoy.
Well, I can't wait to dive deep into today's topic, how to scale to 7 figures with ease. I loved our last episode with Amanda, how to work with the universe. And in case you have not checked that episode out yet, Amanda is a business psychic. She connects women to the universe to receive their quickest, shortest, and most aligned paths to 7 figures. She supports her clients to embark on a dimensional energy shift away from doing into being. And that's also what we will be talking about today. How can it be easier? How can it be more aligned? How can you be in flow while you create your beautiful businesses from your heart and with your heart? In case we have not met yet, I'm Christine Schlonski, the host of HeartSells Podcast, where I talk with inspirational, successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs and business leaders about how they have built a wildly successful business. And also what you need to know is that in many cases, they themselves had to overcome the fear of selling, the being reluctant, feeling that sales wasn't something that felt good to them. And they share their stories on HeartSells Podcast so you can be inspired, you can move forward in your business, you can create more impact and not only make more money, but make your dreams come true and create a lifestyle that you are dreaming of. Some of my amazing past guests include John Lee Dumas from Entrepreneurs of Fire, Ian Altman from Same Side Selling, Andrea Waltz, known for the book she co-created with Richard Fenton, Go for No, as well as Kate Erickson, Anthony Onario, Susie Carter, and many, many more who have shared their wisdom. And this episode is brought to you by HeartSells Academy, and we support heart-centered, ambitious entrepreneurs who love what they do but are reluctant to sales, to really help them to embrace sales, to love sales, to make offers with ease, grace, and confidence so they can have a bigger impact in the world by sharing their beautiful gifts, by feeling amazing doing so, and also by creating a thriving business from their heart. So if that is interesting for you, check out christineschlonski.com and book your sales assessment call. And in this call, we will look at your sales process as well as how and if we can work together. So HeartSells Academy has the opportunity to support you in your business endeavors. So let's dive into the second episode with the wonderful Amanda Kunkel, and let's see what we need to do to scale to 7 figures with ease. Well, I am so excited you are back, Amanda. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, I loved our conversation. It was so juicy about manifesting, about timelines, collapsing frequencies. And we kind of left it with, what do you do to build a 7-figure business? And you mentioned in the first episode that there's even more of the being and less of the doing. So looking at 6-figure entrepreneurs and maybe those who are right before 6 figures, they do a lot, right? That's just a lot of male energy, writing those emails, right? And doing the extra. What's so different? And can we get faster to 7 figures when we just say, hey, universe, you're going to deliver. I'm here. I'm happy. I'm joyful. Like, how do we make that work?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. And I find that the women that they're at 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, they're gung-ho and excited, ready to scale to 7 figures. And the biggest thing they come up against is exactly what you just said. Well, I've done all this doing. And I'm worried that I'm going to get burnt out by more of this doing. But what do you mean that I have to receive? I have to allow? There is this trigger. There's this big, I don't want to call it a block because there really are no blocks. There's this big trigger of, oh my goodness, but this is what got me to 6 figures. And if you're asking me to give this up, What if I fail trying this thing that I've never tried before?
Yeah.
And of course, they've tried it before. They have leaned into their intuition throughout their life, whether overtly with working with the universe, whether with an expert or leaning into their own intuition. It comes down to a paradigm shift. This big message of what's gotten you to where you are now has gotten you only to where you are now. Yeah. This is the point of having a shedding of your own old skin, old self, old way of seeing the world, and stepping into the expert of experts who can see with discernment above everything else and leans into their intuition, leans into allowing, leads into receiving, is constantly on their highway of abundance to move forward. It is almost more of a spiritual experience than of the business side. And to be clear, absolutely, to get to those 6 figures, everything these women learned, they still have a place. There's still always going to be a need to get onto social media, send emails, know how to speak to your VA. Totally. What happens is it's about trust and trusting that they don't have to do all the things and that they can relinquish control. And when these women really start to see the paradigm shift of, I am stepped back from my business. Or before they were like in the business doing all the things or constantly checking in with their VA and their copywriter and all the other various things that they could have, right? As their paradigm starts to shift and they really lean into this being the expert of experts, being the receiver, they pull further back and they almost hold their business as a separate container out in front of them instead of being in them. And one of the big things that happens here is we see them hire more people, hire a bigger team. And that can also be very triggering. The biggest stumbling blocks is the women against themselves. Because, well, I've done it this way. This really worked for me. Yes, absolutely it did. That's fabulous, says the universe. But now we're going to ask you to do things a little bit differently and to trust when you hire somebody to, even if it's like you're somebody that sees clients, but now it's going to be somebody that sees clients for you. When you hire someone, trust your trust in that person. You don't need to second guess it. You don't need to micromanage. Trust you. Trust in how you see things.
That might be a difficult one for a lot of people. I know for sure that, letting go of control is a journey. And I don't know if you ever finish that journey. Well, maybe when you transition to another world, but there's always this element, especially when you want to have it as beautiful and as perfect as you can for your clients. You put so much effort in, and giving that or handing it off to a team, for me, it was definitely a challenge, starting to outsource things and not going back to control every single step of the journey, but just knowing, okay, it's done. I can let go. It's uploaded. The page is published, whatever. It is a journey. So how can we practice to let go of this control?
This is a technique that I called leaning into your Elite Empress. Ooh. Because, we all have 7-figure business, 8-figure businesses inside of us, right? All of potential is out there. All of potential is available to us. It's just tapping into it. So that's where I like to call it the Elite Empress. That woman with the multi-7 ready to get ready for the 8-figure business owner. The reason it's called elite is because business owners make decisions and see the world and everyday business operating in a completely different way. And the risk assessment is completely different. than anybody, even at 6 figures or below 6 figures. So what this is about is tapping into that elite empress. She's that inner badass, and you can already feel her inside of you. This is where the universe says this paradigm shift is literally unleashing all of you into the world. Most people feel this energy down around their abdomen. It's a very strong, if you're into the woo-woo root chakra, that's where it is, down by the womb, right? The spot of creation. And it can go the same for men, right? Like that's okay. The womb isn't necessary, but for women, you can use that spot of creation to help build up that energy. And while I work individually with women at this stage through energy alignments and meditations to build, to stoke that fire, literally think of it a Bunsen burner on like a gas stove, that little like pilot flame, and just turning it up. So the pilot flame is already there. One of the ways that you can turn it up on your own, of course, is meditating on your own and feeling into it, like visualizing the flame, seeing the flame, breathing in. And when you breathe in, allowing the flame to get bigger. More practical way of doing it, because the universe loves like practical and energetic. More practical way is, okay, here's a big challenge for you. Sit down and really say what you want to say in your business. I'm not talking about this is socially acceptable for social media, or this is something that my peers would say is okay, or this isn't going to chase clients away. This is no. Sit down and let it all out. This is where many entrepreneurs feel like, I can't say that to the world. I will lose clients. I will trigger somebody. I will have somebody, attack me on social media, or I could lose my whole brand, when in actuality, that's your elite empress. That is your paradigm shift into 7 figures, because the people that need you, your services, your products, they're looking to hear the real you. And when you're not the real you, that's why you're only at 6 figures. When you let all of that badassery out, that is when the elite empress emerges. This is very difficult for even women at multiple 6 figures. They go, what? I can't do that. It's okay. You don't have to, go galloping the horse on the first ride. This is about maybe doing it handwritten, so it's not even online. So you can't even accidentally post it somewhere, like in a journal somewhere even. Handwrite out, unleash it all, use bad language, use curse words. Don't worry about sentence structure. Like, just get it all the way out there, right? So for instance, in my copywriting, it's like, all right, look, honey, I love you. The universe loves you, but you're going to lean into some very not hard, but intense parts of you that do not want to be seen, that do not want to be let out and recognized to get you to your 7 figures. If you can't do it, that's okay. You can stay at 6 figures. Like, there really is no judgment there, by the way. That is a fabulous accomplishment. It really is. Give yourself credit for that. But if you are dedicated, have the desire, and have made the commitment to move into the 7 figures, then we're going to get down and dirty. We're going to take off the kid gloves, and we're going to get to the root. That is what it can look like in copy. I swear a little bit too, if you actually follow anything that I write, but this isn't about placating. This is about actually, you might lose colleagues. Yeah, you might lose women or men that were your mentors, but you've outgrown them. And that's the point. when you shed all of that, when your Elite Empress comes out and is gloriously in the world like a flaming ball of fire that's not going to actually hurt anyone, but it attracts, right, all of the moths, all of the heat and the warmth of this. Everyone wants to be near the fire, right? If you've ever gone camping, it's where everyone goes, to the fire. That's what is happening. So there's a lot of inner stuff. It's not hard. It's not necessarily difficult. You're not going to be hustling, but it is going to be intense. I actually had one lady refer to it as, oh, that moment right before you give birth, like right before the baby crowns and comes out, it's like that. And I was like, okay, I don't have children yet, so I'm going to take your word on it, but that sounds like a really good metaphor. And it is like the phoenix rising from the flames, except you didn't actually have to be on fire. You just let your Elite Empress out and lean into that being, lean into the allowing. And the most glorious things happen.
That's so interesting because, part of HeartSells is being authentic, being true to yourself, being true to your values while you still make invitations and you still sell and you get your soulmate clients into the door and you have that impact. And basically what you're saying is when you really get to the point where you are authentic with yourself and however you let it out in the world, but at least with yourself in a journal, in a post if you want to, but really being honest with who you are, that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
So everybody could do that, right? Everybody could take a journal, sit down, or a sheet of paper that they can burn later. So, and write out what they really want to say.
Yeah. And what I see happening with my program clients is then they start including it in their copy as much as they feel comfortable. And when they see that the world hasn't blown up around them, they're like, oh, well, I can add a little bit more. And then I can add a little bit more the next time. And the true switch is when all of a sudden they're like, oh, these clients are coming out of nowhere. Then their next several pieces of whether it's copy or offer letters or they do a Facebook Live is so raw and authentically them because they feel safe. And it's the everybody at every level that I have read offer letters and copy for, the universe goes, no, here's where you need to lean in more. Here's what you really need to say. Here's what you're really thinking. Because when people are reading or talking to you in a sales conversation, watching a Facebook Live, and you're not saying what you want to say, they can kind of feel in their gut that something's a little off. Not like, oh, this person is slimy, but more of the, okay, yeah, that's cool. Where when you are so authentically yourself, and so like I just gave that example, so passionate in the way you're speaking about what you do, people are like, because you are giving me permission to unleash all of me. And that is what I really want when we get to the root.
I just love it. It's so important. And I think it helps also heal, not just you, but the world around you. Right? Because when we grow up, we learn, be a good girl, be good in school, get the good grades, get the great job. It's like you're going on a path that you most of the time haven't even chosen. And if you're lucky, you wake up and you make some changes. But some people never wake up, right? They kind of miss out on what they really wanted in life. They just have a compromise, but not a life. And for me, that really makes me sad seeing those people. It's not that I do compromise from time to time, but only like in rare occasions. I don't want to compromise anymore. I just have this one moment and I want to be me in that moment. I don't want to be anybody else and I want to go for my dreams. And by doing so, I serve so many people that it is insane that I didn't realize that starting that journey. I just thought, well, that's kind of selfish because that's what you get driven into, right? If you go for what you want, you are selfish and selfish is not good. But I think really being honest, understanding who you are and living that truth, that's pure magic. So beautiful. So tell me, what was the very, very first thing in your life that you ever sold?
The very first thing that I ever sold in my life,
Yeah.
probably a tie-dye t-shirt at a lemonade stand that my neighbors and I did. But do you mean in my professional life?
No, really in your life. Like,
Yeah.
and
It would have,
yeah, do you remember how it felt when you received money in exchange?
oh, it was exhilarating. It was exhilarating. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that kind of sparked your entrepreneurial journey?
A little bit. I am more of the, since I can see the way, it was really hard for me to work for other people and corporations because I was constantly saying, no, that's not going to work. What you need to do is.
Yeah. Yeah. So you made friends fast in the corporate world.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I made so many friends so fast. And ironically, my father was a business owner, and I think 3 of his siblings were business owners, but I didn't grow up around them. So I didn't know that until my father pointed it out a few years ago. And I was like, oh, so it's in my blood too. It's a little bit of the blood, a little bit of the universe constantly saying, that's not how people should be doing that. That's how they should be doing that.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, it's always so interesting to get into these stories, right? Because for some people, they were like amazingly successful selling something to their neighbors, and it felt so good. And then, the parents found out and they really deeply got in trouble, right? So you know what this made to their life, or what it helped them not to see or not to enjoy anymore because something was wrong all of a sudden, even though it was so much fun before. And then there are the other stories where people just experience and it works out beautifully, everybody loves it, so you have another energy to move forward with, and creating your own dreams, or making your own dreams come true so much faster because you don't need to go through all the other learnings. So I'm always fascinated with people's stories. And so what does HeartSells mean for you?
HeartSells? You mean like as in selling from the heart?
Yes.
That's a really good question. So my job is to really be a liaison. I sometimes directly channel from the universe, and sometimes, more often, am the translator. I say, okay, here's what the universe is saying, and this is what it looks like in real time. And let me give you some business advice as a seasoned businesswoman. And if I can't do that, like if it's not a good match, or the universe is like, no, she needs like an actual business coach right now, or she needs to, and it doesn't happen as often, but it used to be, okay, psychotherapy would be a good fit, or what's another one? It's right now about like having an actual business coach. If I can't give what that person, like what the universe shows me that person needs, I'm like, it's all good. Let me give you, actually, I love giving referrals. I give referrals, and I don't mean as part of like a referral program. I'm just like, here's who you need to contact. Here's who I see that you need to be working with. Like, it's okay. That is actually one of the most exciting parts, is sending someone where they need to go. And then if the universe on the flip side says, no, actually, this is exactly what this woman needs, and this is what's going to help her scale her business in the fastest, easiest, most aligned path, then I get really excited about, okay, well, let me, explain to you how this looks, and then letting go. It really is about letting go. And being totally cool. If someone's in, great. If somebody's not in, that's okay. That's all right. Everything that is meant to be will come along.
Yeah. So don't stress yourself. Just be, and put yourself out there so people know about you. They have the chance to talk to you, and then you will know. I call them my soulmate clients. So they know, I know, and then it's an easy process.
It is. And it's funny. I don't even really get on the phone or on Zoom anymore, unless it's a woman looking to come into my elite program and she hasn't been with me from the start and already worked with me all the way up. Like she's brand new to my world. It's all just through interacting because I'm that person to person, and I love to give so much just content, like just giving it online on Facebook Live, on my private Facebook group, that the interaction has already happened. So by the time we get to the sales conversation, it simply is, hey, is this a good fit?
Yeah. That's what I love. It's not about objection handling or manipulating, or I just had the conversation with someone else about the techniques where you can belittle people or you can bully them into a sale. And obviously that's not what you want to do. If you are heart-centered, you do definitely not want to do. And there's so many ways where it can flow, where it's with ease and grace and confidence. And, you know, they know, and you just need to figure out the terms. That's it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So for people to shift into 7 figures, you brought a beautiful gift, shift into 7 figures with your intuition. And it's embody 4 keys to align with a 7-figure business that already exists in your vibrational field. And now we talked about vibrational field and your vibration frequency in our first episode. So if you have not listened to it, I highly recommend you check that out. So tell us a little bit what people do get when they get your free gift.
Absolutely. It is all about you leaning into your intuition, because you have intuition and you have connection with the universe. Everybody does. You don't necessarily always need somebody outside of yourself to be saying, here's what the universe says. So when you can lean into your intuition and you can feel the universe, feel the support, feel the cheering on, feel that, oh, hey, go in this direction, talk to that person, send this email. It makes life and business feel so joyful. And I would love for everyone to have that experience.
Yeah. So beautiful. So go get your gift. It's on the show notes page with all the links that lead to Amanda. So I highly recommend you check her out, because it's, life can be so easy if you figure out how to let go of control and to trust so that you are in the right frequency or vibration, because everything is already there. And it's such a beautiful thought, right? To envision that each and every day. And that will help you to move forward, to get your excitement up, the joy, the flow. I remember, I think it was 4 years ago, I spent a whole week in Sedona. It was just me. I just wanted me time. And I did not have any plans whatsoever, right? I just knew it was Sedona because I read Paulo Coelho's book. I forgot the title, but it was something with Sedona. I was like, one day I'm going to go. And then I went, and I just every day I woke up and I thought, oh, what am I going to do today? Well, let's check out. And I was just 1 week of flow, and I met amazing people. I had the most beautiful experience of just being in flow and transferring that to your business. Just being, obviously taking some actions, but that was so impactful that ever since I think about how can I create flow? How can I make it easy? How can I be more and do less, which not always works, I have to admit. But having these thoughts is already going to help you step into that other version that you aspire to become. So I love how you shared your wisdom with us in both of these wonderful episodes. So thank you so much, Amanda, for having been here. A final word to finish this off. What advice would you love to give?
Allow all of your beingness to come in, up and out of you for the world to see.
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Well, I just loved these conversations with Amanda, and I hope you loved them too. Hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab and all the links that connect to Amanda, as well as her amazing free gift. And once you're over there, we also have the transcript available for you, the show notes, the key points, and we are gifting you with the wonderful experience of the Heart-Centered Lead Generation Summit. This is an evergreen that we have put for you, where 40 amazing experts share all their knowledge about lead generation and the different ways how to do it, organic, paid, and through partnerships. And this summit has been life-changing for so many, so we decided to put up that as an experience for you. You can sign up for free at christineschlonski.com/experience and actually go through the whole summit and learn from these amazing world-class experts and the best advice they are sharing on lead generation done from the heart. Thank you so, so much for having been here. It was a pleasure, and I hope you are inspired and motivated. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world, and I'm saying bye for now.